Hello, good morning. Less is often good. I think we have less people so that we can have more interactive sessions. This is the second time I'm here in the same venue after 11 years. I was here in 2011 for LinuxCon. Yeah, with that memory, let's get started. This session is supposed to be taken by Stephen Tan. Unfortunately, he's not able to join. He's sick. But things should go on. I mean, with his wish, I think we'll start. So first of all, welcome back to Japan once again. In fact, we had a session in 2019 in Tokyo, which we call it as Soda Forum. You can see most of us there. That was, in fact, a pre-launch of Soda Foundation. So we had this event, and eventually in 2020, the Soda Foundation announced under Linux Foundation as a sub-foundation. Like Itosan mentioned, it was a project called OpenSDS in Linux Foundation, and then we upgraded into a sub-foundation hosting multiple projects. And after 2019, you know what happened in the world. So we have been in the pandemic situation. Still, we had a lot of activities after that. Even during the pandemic time, we had multiple sessions, conferences, active engagements with the developers, though it was online. So we had two SODACON editions, 2020 and 21, online. And this year, early this year, we had SODACODE dedicatedly for developers, a hackathon online. And we are part of many other events wherever it is possible to engage with community users, end users, and developers. Soda Foundation has been actively participating. And once it's opened up, I think now things are getting better. So we started attending and organizing in-person events to meet people and discuss with them. So we participated in Open Source India in 2022 recently, and we are here in for SODACON2022 in person with all of you. It's great to come back again to Japan. And we are very happy on behalf of Soda Foundation. We are announcing SODACON 2023 in London in September. And more details we'll be announcing soon. Now, why container to multi-cloud? Okay. So, as you know, the trend is clearly towards cloud native and multi-cloud. You can see more than 87% of European enterprise using multiple public cloud platforms. Okay, in fact, close to 80% of the enterprises are using more than one public cloud platform in their production. Earlier, we used to think that this is notional, in the sense the container deployment or multi-cloud, these things are notional. But today, it is no more notional, it is a reality. Because as per the CNCF survey, it says more than 90% of the organizations are deploying container in their production. And now, container in multi-cloud, in multiple cloud, is the trend of the real use cases deployment. So that is where we stand today. That's why we are also moving in the direction that container to multi-cloud. This is just a few information, but there are a lot of trend analysis happening in this area about container and multi-cloud. Okay, so if you see, traditionally, things happen from VM-based system and then move on to cloud native and hybrid. So specifically on the storage side, When we talk about VM storage, the major aspect was the vendor lock-in of the storage. So most of the platforms are specific to their storage systems, and that was a challenge. Now, when it comes to the cloud-native storage, there is CSI, which can help you to have a common interface to talk to the storage. But is that enough? Today, if you see most of the cloud-native solutions, one of the weaker areas is the storage part. Okay, though you have CSI, because CSI is not as mature to provide all the storage data management aspects like a vendor gives in their platform. And now it is moving on to the hybrid multi-cloud. So what is multi-cloud? Multi-cloud is nothing but a vendor uses multiple clouds for their deployments. Various use cases, maybe same application use case or multiple use cases across the platforms. Multiple vendors. And now, if you see, it may be a paradox because the enterprise vendors are trying to move towards cloud. Like any of the top storage vendors, if you see, they have solutions to embrace the multi-cloud deployments. But at the same time, if you see multi-cloud vendors, the cloud vendors like AWS, GCP, they are coming to enterprise, okay? Because they see opportunities both the sides. What does that mean? It means the users are moving more on hybrid kind of solutions. They have use case deployment not just on-premise, but also with cloud. So it's a combination of on-premise and cloud is what is happening today. And on top of it, on-premise heterogeneous storage and cloud, multiple cloud vendors. And adds to this complexity, the edge computing also can join to make it more complex. So SODA Foundation, we have been looking at this problem and challenges of users, primarily for the storage and data management. So that's how we started with OpenSDS, where we try to connect all the VM or the VM-based platforms, or any application platforms for that matter, to heterogeneous storage. Heterogeneous storage in the sense it is not logged in with a vendor, so you can have NetApp, Huawei, or HP, IBM, different storages, but OpenSDS could provide a common interface for your orchestration and provisioning. So seamlessly you can do orchestration and provisioning on different kind of storages. And for same application use case, you can use different vendor storage. You don't need to get locked. Then seeing the trend in the industry, we moved on to Open Data Framework 1.0. I can say that the most of the projects currently you can map to a great extent here in Open Data Framework 1.0, where we provided the CSI-based, uniform CSI-based heterogeneous storage provisioning and management, wherein any vanilla CSI can be plugged and play, and you can use any storage vendors in Kubernetes or cloud-native kind of platform or application. So any container orchestration engine which is compliant with CSI. Then on top of it, we also added monitoring capabilities, because monitoring capability across the storage vendors is even today is a bottleneck, because users are using the management platforms from the vendor. So you can get the insights of the vendor storage, the third party with limited capabilities. So that is where we try to fix it with a project. We'll come to that later. The project which can provide heterogeneous storage monitoring. And going forward, container to multi-cloud, we have all these in the sense on-premise and multiple cloud plus edge. So it is kind of a hybrid environment we are getting into. Now, what are the key things important? Mobility, observability, and data protection. We are seeing, this is coming from our end users' inputs. We also do some industry survey, and we study other analysis happening in the industry. We will see what survey, what we have done later on. So basically, we are building Open Data Framework V2.0 with keeping in mind that it should provide hybrid data management across cloud native and multi-cloud. So that's the vision we have. And this is a logical solution which comprises of multiple projects. So like I mentioned, the mobility, observability, and protection. So mobility is across on-premise or multiple cloud, cloud to cloud, intra-cloud, or on-premise to cloud hybrid. And observability is the next step to monitoring, because monitoring will give you, I keep saying that monitoring can give you known unknowns. In the sense, you have certain values. So what are the attributes, known attributes, and what are the unknown values it can take? That's the way monitoring works, provide you insights. But observability provide unknown unknowns, because it provides you the complete system behavior. It provides huge amount of data through which it can predict unknown unknowns. And observability is one of the key backbones for AIOps, end-to-end AIOps going forward. Then coming to protection. Protection is one of the default use cases for any of the users, like data protection across on-premise or cloud. Now we see open data framework. Okay, maybe I'll stand outside because I'm not able to see it. Okay, you can see me, right? Because anyway, less people. Okay, open data framework, unified data, unified control, and unified experience. This is what we are looking at. Now, Terra is one of the projects which we have. So the top, whatever you are seeing, Terra, DELFIN, STRATO, Kahu, Como, Corgi, I think you don't need to worry about the names. We always give crazy names to make it attractive. So these are the framework projects, SODA framework projects. The framework projects, there are two types of projects in SODA. One is the framework project which hosted and maintained by the SODA community. And the next one is Echo project. Any other community projects can join Echo project so that we avoid fragmentation. Without any conditions, they can manage their projects with their own admin. But the key point is to integrated solutions. So in Open Data Framework, Terra will provide you unified orchestration and provisioning, and DELFIN will give you observability. Right now, it's a GA-ready monitoring solution. The DELFIN can right now provide you heterogeneous storage monitoring across different storage models. We support around 20 different storage models right now, and we are moving towards observability. And STRATO is a project multi-cloud. We have multi-cloud data migration, lifecycle management already in place. And we are going towards unstructured data management and also across the multiple zones and clusters kind of data management and data protection. Kahu is a container data protection solution. We launched this year and it has been completed. The latest release, we will have the data backup and restore facilities from Kahu. So it is natively built for Kubernetes. And Como and Corgi, these are the new project proposals. The Como project is primarily for data lake kind of solutions. We got some requirements from SoftBank and we started working on that. So it is in the proposal stage. And the next step would be something like design and development. Corgi is primarily for data security. This is a new area getting started as it is very critical going forward. So this is a quick information about Terra, the SDS controller, like I mentioned. Automated block file storage provisioning is the key use case. And the schedule snapshot. All these are on-premise in case of Terra. And then we provide the standard APIs. DELFIN is the storage monitoring. Like I mentioned, it provides heterogeneous storage monitoring across storage models. And it gives you a very nice UI. Why? Because it has got an exporter kind of framework which can connect to Prometheus to Grafana for visualization, or you can connect to Kafka for insights, maybe AI/ML. You can do AI/ML processing with the DELFIN data. And another beauty is that on the south side, this exporter framework is on the north side. South side, we have the storage driver manager, wherein you can add new drivers seamlessly. In a week's time, I think you should be able to bring up a new device model in DELFIN. STRATO is Multi-cloud data, like I mentioned, we already support multiple clouds and the data management facilities, primarily on S3. So STRATO and Kahu, we will have detailed sessions in the afternoon with including a demo. So Kahu is like I mentioned, the data protection project, primarily data migration, protection, disaster recovery, backup, restore kind of use case. Como is a secure data lake, multi-cloud virtual data lake. So we will start with unified S3 API. We will have more details on the further sessions today. Then OpenSDS and SODA Foundation, we have been releasing on a regular intervals. So last 2 years, we are releasing in every 6 months. Otherwise, it was quarterly releases. So the last few releases are Lamu, Madagascar, and the new release is Navarino. And all these names are some islands, island names. We hope one day we'll go and do a SODACON in one of these islands. So Navarino is getting released this year, this December. We already have the RC1 cut already out, and the demos will be based on that. So the Navarino release, the key points are the Kahu, the provide data, metadata backup, data and metadata backup, and storage provider framework, so you can add new drivers very easily, and the CSI-based volume snapshot, because out of the box it can support CSI, so you can have the existing CSI features with Kahu. And also we support in-tree, NFS out of the box, and deployment and usability enhancements. Then in Navarino release, we have some upgrades on STRATO and DELFIN, giving more advanced features, and also supporting the Ubuntu 20.04 upgrade. This is what I was mentioning about Echo project. These are some of the Echo projects right now joined SODA Foundation. There are 10 Echo projects. You can see some of them are CNCF, some of them are individual, some of them are independent, other independent organization projects. So the whole idea is that we would like to have the Echo projects and the framework project work together to provide you end-to-end solution. So we don't want to fragment and rebuild things which is already existing. So that's our idea. So we welcome any such projects in data and data management to SODA Foundation. So this is a kind of landscape today. So we have our projects like the framework projects in dark blue. I hope it is dark blue. And the lighter blue is SODA Echo projects. And you have all the projects. So what we have done in landscape is that we categorized into the different domains of use cases like orchestration, the edge computing. Edge computing, we already started, by the way. So we have a Cube-Edge project. We have done some kind of an experiments with SODA Foundation projects for just basic orchestration and provisioning. And then we have projects in hybrid multi-cloud. Como is the latest addition to it. And observability, we have DELFIN and SPK. The good news is that DELFIN right now is an on-premise. So we are going to migrate DELFIN to Kubernetes. So we'll see that in the other sessions today. Then you have the storage-specific projects like object or block, S3, massive storage, massive object storage, etc. So we hope we can expand this landscape to provide ODF v2.0 to meet all the challenges of container and multi-cloud. So like I mentioned, we do research other than end users input. We research industry, try to understand what's happening and then decide. This is 2021 research. Last year we identified that container is a key direction. Immediately we came up with the Kahu project, and we have a 1-point release this year. Hope users can start using this project for data protection. And we had 2022 survey. The report is getting ready. The summary is ready. So we will listen from, this is both the research, the SODA data and storage trend survey, we do it with Linux Foundation research team. So let us hear from Linux Foundation research person, Hilary. Can we have Hilary's video? Can we have Hilary's video? You want me to disconnect this?
Good morning, SODACON. My name is Hilary Carter, and I'm so pleased to have this opportunity to speak to you today. I wish I could be with you in person. Allow me to share my screen and we'll get started. Today, I'm going to be speaking about data and storage insights from Linux Foundation Research in partnership with the SODA Foundation. But first, a little bit about LF Research. Linux Foundation Research was founded a year ago to explore the impact of open source project communities, looking at the opportunities and challenges for open source software, open hardware, open standards, and open data, and ultimately provide a library of insight that would inform strategy and decision-making across all of our project communities. It's the second time that we've had the opportunity to work with the SODA Foundation, and I'm excited to share our latest research today. The research that we're about to discuss falls under the framework of technology horizontal. We at LF Research explore insights along tech horizontal lines to have this opportunity to dive deep into a given subject matter and provide specific value to the community in question that's singularly focused on a given technology. Other types of research that we do, other frameworks, are along industry vertical lines, or looking at ecosystem-wide issues on topics such as governance or leadership or diversity, equity, inclusion, and so on, as well as conducting research along geographic lines, looking at regional dynamics, as we recently have done specific to Europe. In July, in partnership with the SODA Foundation and the numerous organizations whose logos you'll see on the right of the screen, helped us distribute a brand new survey, the 2022 Data and Storage Trends Survey. This survey was fielded in July and August. It was translated into simplified Chinese and Japanese languages and distributed across the various communities that you see here. We also engaged the services of a third-party panel provider to help increase the number of respondents from the end user community, so we would have a significant sample to use in the analysis. And I'm so pleased to say that as of today, the results are in, and we've created a brand new report, Data and Storage Trends in 2022, in which we explored data and storage strategies in the era of the data-driven enterprise. So please do take out your phones, scan the QR code, download the report, and read it and share it with everybody you know. We hope you'll find it to be a valuable resource, not just in the near term, but as you plan your strategies ahead in 2023. So let's dig into the findings. In terms of demographics, we had 39%, our largest response, from large enterprises, particularly end user organizations. The respondents by region came mostly from Asia Pacific. That was likely due to the region of operation of many of our distribution partners, and the fact that we did offer the survey in Chinese and Japanese languages as well. Most of our respondents, unsurprisingly, focused in the data and analytics fields, followed by enterprise architecture and product management. We did have most of our respondents from IT vendors, but a good almost half came from end user organizations, many of whom showed very high familiarity with data and storage technologies. And also unsurprisingly, the vast majority come from within the IT industry itself. Now to share 12 key findings with you. This year, the growth in data was 3 times higher than in 2021, based on this year's survey results. 56% of end users deploy open source multi-cloud management in their production environments. Data security is the greatest challenge facing container deployments, and public clouds run more than 40% of end user organization workflows. Information security and data privacy are the leading reasons to use a private cloud solution. The biggest challenge facing multi-cloud solutions is the security and protection of data. AI-driven hybrid data management is considered the most critical area for data management and analytics, forecast for the next 2 to 4 years. Data quality, governance, and security are the top priorities when selecting metadata management solutions. We found that 43% of end users demand the freedom to leverage multiple storage vendors. Cloud technologies represent the most significant area of data and storage technology investment over the next 3 years. Primary data storage, complete data protection, and disaster recovery represent the top 3 use cases for cloud storage services. And cloud storage management is the greatest challenge facing data and storage observability. I would like to invite everybody here to explore the data set that culminated from the survey findings. One of our core tenets at LF Research is creating open data in which there's no personally identifiable information present. So to access the data set from the 2022 SODA study, again, please take out your phones, scan the QR code, and you can download the data sets in their entirety. So with that, I hope you enjoy the research. I hope you find it valuable in your discussions. I want to thank the entire SODA team and our partners for a terrific collaboration. And I wish you a safe and productive time at SODACON. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, thanks, Hilary. And thank you all for joining this keynote session. So once again, I just wanted to thank all our the platinum sponsors, Huawei, and gold, SCF, Toyota, and the event partners who are all joined. I think most of them are the standard organizations or university, including SNIA, and the media partners supporting our community outreach for this event. Thanks once again, and nice conference. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much. Back to you, Tasan. If I don't call, he'll come, not come. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, any questions? How much time we have for the questions? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Edge. Yeah. Okay. There is no, okay, just to clarify, there is no specific definition for edge with respect to SODA. We go with the common definition of edge. So I can try to explain you what we consider as an edge. So there are a lot of, like you mentioned, the edge is one of the terms which is used correctly and not correctly, multiple different ways, okay? So in a simple sense, what we try to do currently is that any data is produced. The end of the day, what do we need to do? Data processing. We need to get some data, process it, and infer, analyze, and take some actions. This is what we generally do, right? So we need to do acquisition, processing, and result. So generally, what's happening today, most of the cases is that data is produced in a source. and the data is moved to a place where it is analyzed, and then give you the result. Now, edge is nothing but, can you process the data as close as possible to the source of the data? So if you want to process more closer to the source of the data, for example, you take a photo in your mobile phone. If you want to do in this auditorium face recognition, and people take photos, and that photo can be used for face recognition, definitely this photo has to go to some common place and then process it. But can we have that computing, some of the computing agent in your phone, and some part of the processing can be done in the source itself, so that the result will be faster? So the edge definition per se is that you process the data as close as possible to the source of the data. So there are different kind of platforms. See, 4G, 5G, you have MES kind of platform. And also on the enterprise side or compute side, you have platforms like EdgeX Foundry, CubeEdge, and things like that. So what they do is that at a platform level, it can do edge computing. What does that mean? These platforms can run on a device which does not have too much of resource, like your mobile phone or some terminal devices or a mini data center which does not have. That's why this confusion. The confusion because edge can run on phone, edge can run on router, edge can run on mini data center also. So that's how you get confused. If something is running on DC or data center, how do you say it is edge? Because that edge is the edge of the overall network, maybe. Okay, so that's how it is. So our interest is that whether SODA Foundation platforms can run in such devices with resource constraints. That's our focus. So we make our platforms as light as possible or customized. I hope I answered. Thank you. Thank you.